certainly don't hesitate at all to ask questions. Many people ask how this all got started. I started collecting bells in 1925. This will age me right away. In 1923 and 1924, for some reason, my bicycle bell that I had intrigued me and fascinated me. From then on, I just went to town. Since then, I've traveled quite extensively and in contact with importers and antique dealers all over the country. Many of the better bells in the collection have been very fortunate in getting as donations. Some from general museums, where maybe you know they had 2 or 3 bells rattling around in a large museum. Some from private parties that were fortunate enough to have had them. The very oldest bells in the collection have been able to get through archaeological expeditions. I do have 7 BC bells, which are, of course, the very, very oldest in the museum. Now, in this room, there's only 1 BC bell. The others are in the other room, but I will be pointing some of those very interesting bells out for you. I also will be demonstrating some bells for you. I got a frog in my throat. I hope that my voice doesn't leave. The 2 large bells, as you see hanging here, are cow bells from Switzerland. I certainly wouldn't want to be the poor cow that had to wear those. They weigh approximately 35 pounds each, but these are worn mostly by the leaders of the herds, and then in state, religious occasions, dress parades, things of that sort. You see, the poor cow couldn't possibly wear them all the time, partly because of the weight. Then you see they're so large that she couldn't possibly get her head down and pass them down to grass to graze. The straps are usually quite ornate. This one has the bearer of burdens Switzerland on it. The other one has the red shield with the white cross, which is on the Swiss flag. I don't think I want to be that cow in a dress parade. But here you're going to see a couple of guys holding 3 of them. Here is one actually around the cow's neck. And if you people all gather down this way, I mean, we're all in here. And the ding-a-ling here with all his ding-dongs is going to show you as much as he can, so you just all be friendly. You just might as well, because we're all together here for the purpose of seeing bells. Here we have some altar chimes, and here is one, just a single bell. This came from a Catholic church in Connecticut. Sometimes you see a tier of 3, sometimes you see a tier of 4. When there are 3, it represents the Trinity. When there are 4, it represents the 4 evangelists, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. The one with the 4 is an Armenian altar chime. This one came from the Catholic Cathedral in Minneapolis, Minnesota, which is now the Basilica of St. Mary. And this one, which has 3, which you see the bells are in different shape than these 3. This one was used at St. Rose of Lima Catholic Church in Denver prior to 1890. Here's something kind of interesting and different that I want to show you. These are known as tin Shah bells. You can see they have dragons around them. Of course, they're made of bronze. They're from Tibet. And they use them somehow in their religious ceremonies, and this is the way they ring them. They hold them, and then they have to strike each other right on the rim. And you have a very high piercing tone. Here's one I want to explain for you. This is a scale model replica. When I talk so long, I get a frog in my throat. Of course, I probably smoked too much anyway, but I love smoking. Anyway, this is a scale model replica, 1/5 the size of our Liberty Bell. the way it was when it was first cast by the Whitechapel Foundry in London, England in 1752. After it arrived in the United States, upon being tested, it cracked. An early founder in Philadelphia by the name of Paston Stowe recast the bell. It wasn't too much longer, and it cracked again. So Paston Stowe in Philadelphia recast it again. Finally, it cracked again. After that, they just left it crack. In 1976, which was the bicentennial year of the United States, Whitechapel Foundry in London wrote to the United States government. They said, if you will pack the Liberty Bell up and ship it back to us, we will pay the shipping charges. We will recast it free of charge, send it back to you, and it'll never break again. What happened is this. You see, bell bronze is 3 parts copper to 1 part tin. Now, you know copper is a pliable metal, whereas tin is a much, much more brittle metal. Well, somebody got just a little too much tin, not enough copper in the molten metal. So had we sent it back, which of course we wouldn't, they would have melted it down and added more copper to it. There are bells in Westminster Abbey, much older than our Liberty Bell, that are still ringing beautifully today that were cast by this same foundry. It just turned out that our Liberty Bell was a lemon. Well, it's no good as a bell anymore, but crack and all, it is a wonderful symbol. Also in 1976, Whitechapel Foundry in London cast 2,400 of these, just like this one, as commemoratives to our Liberty Bell. Now that sounds like an awful lot of bells, but when you stop to think, they went all over the world to schools, colleges, universities, libraries, some public buildings, a few museums, and fewer still collectors. I feel very fortunate in having this one, and it has a wonderful sound to it. I like the way this goes on and on and on and on. Now, I know it's kind of tight in here. I've got you people in here kind of like sardines in a can, but we'll get along beautifully. In this case right here, I'm going to stand back this way and you just crowd around it as well as you can, but right there in the front center, you're going to see a little 3-sectional case. In that case are 3 archaeological bells. The one nearest me is an Aztec bell from Mexico. The one in the center is Iran, Persia, and it is one of my BC bells, the only one in this room. The furthest bell over is a gold bell from Colombia, South America. It doesn't look gold because it's not polished gold. Now, I might mention that every once in a while, as you people are going to read, I'm going to let you read for a while